Hey guys, Big Papa Plump here. How's it going, brah? So, I've been playing this Javzon quite a bit, and some of you I know have checked my stream. I was actually live streaming last night. And hopefully I'll do that a little bit more frequently as time progresses. And there was actually quite a few of you watching, considering how rarely I do that, and how small of a subscriber base I still have. But of course the channel has been gaining pretty damn fast, so I appreciate that, man. Thanks. And nonetheless, though, this video was kind of dedicated toward my multi-shot. And as you can see here, it's at level 19 right now, I think. There's quite a few arrows. But check this out. I think I'm going to pump a few more into it. Maybe 2, 3. I'm going to pump a few more into it. It's alright. Like, I see some folks with it maxed out. And it just looks awesome when it's maxed out. It hits so much shit. But I don't think maxing it is going to be necessarily optimal. But here's something that not everyone knows, I've noticed, who are relatively familiar with Diablo 2, which was kind of to my surprise. The only downside in maxing multi-shot, or putting more points into it, is that every skill point you add, it gains a mana cost, 1 mana. So currently at level 23, it is costing 26 mana. So that's kind of lame. But some folks didn't realize this part. They think that all those arrows count against your arrows here, but they actually don't. This only counts as one shot. Say I'm at 324. I'll shoot once, and now I'm at 323. So it's really not bad, man. And I'm going to be making a lot of videos on this Amazon. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to find the optimal level of multi-shot. Now the problem is my character's wearing Shaco, so obviously when I take that off, I'm going to lose 2 levels to multi-shot. So I might have to add more. And I'm saving all these skill points, just not entirely sure what to do with them. But I have been debating. Now this character doesn't wear High Lord's Amulet. I like Cat's Eye instead. I think the run walk is freaking epic, man. And the Dex adds quite a bit of damage as well. About 70 to max, and about, 14 to minimum. So it's really not bad, the Dex that you get out of that. And some defense per missile, stuff like that. But of course, High Lord's is nice because of the skill it adds. So it's kind of a tough comparison. I do have that as well. Now, one thing is that Deadly Strike is the same as Critical Strike. So here we have my passives. So Critical Strike doubles damage, and so does Deadly Strike. So right now, it's at 51, but it's really beneficial to add more, it seems, because 1 point will add a 3% chance of Critical Strike. And then it starts going up to 2%, as you can see. Now it's 56, then it goes to 58. So I think I'm going to pump more into that, especially if I'm not wearing High Lords. Of course, you can add High Lords on, and then you're going to gain 33%. So if you have this at 63 or higher, or 64 for that matter, you should have over 100% chance of Deadly Strike. But the thing is, they're actually calculated separately. So you could still not have a Deadly Strike per hit if you're wearing High Lords and you have your Critical Strike over 64. Or whatever that is. Or, I'm sorry, 67. Depending on what your Deadly Strike is at. Mine's at 33 right now. So you have to factor all that shit in. But yeah, they're calculated separately. Like when you shoot once, if you don't get the 6% here, it's going to then calculate the 33% chance here. So of course, it is going to increase your chances, but it does offer diminishing returns as you progress with both of those. So it's just kind of a little side note that not everyone was aware of. Also with multi-shot, only your front, I think it's 2 or 3 arrows can actually apply Deadly Strike. So I often, focus my arrows as most people do with multi-shot. And often when I even have 1 or 2 enemies, I still multi-shot them, just out of habit. But of course, it can be nice to have either Freezing Arrow, or Guided Arrow, or Strafe on your left click. This Freezing Arrow I only have 1 point into, and it's pretty effective. But then again, my Merc is wearing Conviction, does have the conviction aura because it's wearing infinity here. So it's going to drastically reduce their cold resistances. So that really helps. And that's another thing that I've been debating with this character, is whether or not I want him to use Infinity or Reaper's Toll for the Decrepify, or even Pride for that matter, which is very expensive, and I don't have those runes, but it's something to maybe strive for. But holy shit, man. Look at this multi-shot. That is awesome. Holy shit. Yeah, dude. I am looking forward to testing this build out more, and maybe even adding more to my multi-shot. It's just, I find it very rewarding how freaking devastating this skill is. Ooh, a Monarch. I always identify these because you never know, man. You might get Jeweler's Monarch of Deflection, which offers 4 sockets and the 20% increased block rate. So it's a really nice shield to have. And people like to use that for dueling, and they pop 4 perfect light facets in it. So it's great for a Javazon. But I've never seen anything really close to it. But nonetheless, it's still worth IDing a lot of magic items. And here I am saving up some bows. I need to mule these things. But as you can see, I have this nice matriarchal bow. Of course, it's only 2 to bow skills, which they max out at 3, and the same for the Grand Matron. I am using Faith right here. But the thing is, with the matriarchal bow, you can actually reach your highest attack speed breakpoint. And you don't even need all the attack speed gear on. So it's very beneficial in terms of attack speed. So that's something to weigh in. And it's hard to compare. I've had a lot of folks claim that it's ultimately better than using the Grand Matron. But I am primarily a multi-shot build, to where the Grand Matron with a higher damage in general might... It's really hard to compare this shit, man. Because with multi-shot, it might actually be more effective using a higher damage bow. Because, like I said, your critical strike, your deadly strike, your crushing blow, and all that shit, and as well as procs to cast like amplified damage if you're wearing Atma's Amulet, are only going to function for your front 2 or 3 arrows. I'll have to find the detail of that out, but it's not all of them. That's for sure. It's only the front few. So with that being calculated into the equation, it's hard to estimate how many of your arrows that are hitting your enemies are actually going to have those sort of attributes applicable to them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have been collecting some bows just kind of for the hell of it. Like, I'm thinking about making that edge bow, and I think that's 3 sockets, or maybe it's 2 actually, I don't know. But I have this nice ward bow. A lot of folks like to make Faith in a ward bow because you can hit the max breakpoint, and it also has the versatility to where you can put it on your mercenary, and then you can wield Wind Force. And I have this nice great bow as well. This one is used for the same sort of thing. And this one I think hits the breakpoint more efficiently than the ward bow, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Yeah, the ward bow has pretty nice damage, and it's not even superior. But yeah, this I believe maxes out at 4 sockets, so you could socket that with a quest and make a Faith in that and put it on your merc. But I intend to make more videos experimenting with different bows and all that, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, what do you guys think I should max out my multi-shot at? I mean, I think it's pretty epic where it's at right now, but I've only been messing with it, you know, for a few minutes now. Because as you spread them out further, obviously, there's more gaps between the arrows. And sometimes in the Chaos Sanctuary, I do keep it spread like that, when there's enemies just all over the place. So in that case, it should be beneficial to add more to the skill. But of course, the downside is you're using more mana. So the mana leech comes into play as well. And currently I have 6 mana stolen per hit. It'd be nice to get 7 on a ring. And a dual leech ring especially would be epic. On my non-ladder Amazon, I have a pretty nice dual leech ring that she wears. Because now it's a bitch, man. I'm not gaining anything from the attack speed on this belt. And the only reason she's using it is because I need some life leech. So I might swap out this helm with Vamp Gaze for now and socket it with a attack speed jewel, and then wear Razor Tail belt and see how that goes. Then I get the 10 max damage and the 100% pierce with my skill where it's at, the pierce skill. So that would be damn epic. So I might do that. And it also adds 15 dex for damage. So I might try that out. Put Vamp Gaze on her. I have to socket it. I hate to waste the socket quest, but I might do that. And here's my gear, just for those of you who don't really know. Laying of Hands for now. I think the damage to demons is epic. Ravenfrost, just need that cannot be frozen. The attack rating on Ravenfrost really helps. Here's some War Travelers, and checking out what it does to my damage. 3372 multi-shot, 3150. Yeah, so it adds quite a bit of damage there, and the obviously the minimum damage goes up as well, because it offers 15 to minimum and 25 to maximum damage. And then I'm wearing Shaco and Fortitude. And on Switch, I actually have Titans and Storm Shield. I think a Headhunter's Glory with 3 lightning facets would be pretty godly. And on Switch instead of Storm Shield. Or a 40s Monarch with all light facets. But that shit is expensive. Especially the JMod shield that I mentioned. That is damn expensive. But that would be an interesting way to go as well. I like the versatility. Because every time I come across physical immunes, like in these little tombs, for example, and as well as the Worldstone Keep, you can just switch over to Lightning Fury and just, like this, for example. Look at that. It just destroys them. And so it's an all-around decent build. And here I only have these 2 lightning skills max, Lightning Fury and Charge Strike. And then I still have all these points left over to put in a bow. So it's a hybrid build, but it can do it all, man. And I've heard folks say that with the right build you can actually kill the Ubers, but I guess that's yet to be discovered. I'm not sure if I've seen any proof of that, especially on the latter realms. I'm not talking about the pluggy Ubers, which are fake Ubers. It's nothing against pluggy, you know what I mean? But the Ubers they're not real Ubers in pluggy. They don't have all the attributes that make them so damn difficult to kill. There's a lot of things lacking. But nonetheless, man, this build is a blast, and there's a lot of variety to it. I'm still working on her. So I think I'm going to pop on that Vamp Gaze helm, and she's going to look badass for now. Then a Giant Skull ultimately might be the way to go, but I'm still unsure. Maybe a Kira's Guardian for the resist, then it frees up my ring slot because it cannot be frozen as on Kira's, but there's a lot of shit to cover, man. So stay tuned to the videos if you will, and become a patron if you want. I'd really appreciate it. Link in the description below. And let me know your thoughts on this build, and what level should my multi-shot be. More videos to come. Peace be with you.